you been a mediocre person in your life? Do you want to believe that after death you will end up in some paradise, but deep down you think you may be tortured for eternity because you've been raised in a society with a Christian Protestant hegemony that believes that all people are sinful? Then you're in luck. With some hard work, dedication, and some self-actualization, you can make your way out of hell. Turns out that Satan and hell may not be what most people think. Instead of being a place of eternal suffering, it may just be an excruciating challenge. This sounds ridiculous, so just hear me out. Let's go backwards for a minute to the original mention of Satan. In the Hebrew text, the term Satan translated to an adversarial role, an opposing force. Even the Greek word diablos translated to one who throws something across one's path. That doesn't sound so evil to me. Even the original stories that he's presented in present him as an opposing force, but always with the intention of doing good. Like in the book of Numbers, Satan puts himself in front of Balaam and his donkey to prevent him from cursing the Israelites. Or in the book of Job, when, yes, Satan does punish Job, but is simply doing the work of God in order to test his faithfulness. And you might be thinking, what about Satan's fall from heaven and the becoming of Lucifer? Now, Pagel explains, 500 years after Isaiah wrote this luminous falling star, his name translated to in Latin as Lucifer, light bearer. So if Satan is simply an angel challenging humans, then isn't it possible that hell itself is just one big test that we can pass? Christianity preaches redemption, the saving of a human from sin. Why does that have to stop in life on earth? McDaniels explains, life after death continues what had already begun in this life, existence under the impact and the guidance of the divine. If our life continues after death, then we can continue to learn and change after death. Bernstein even questions himself, if the post-mortem suffering are temporary, will they simply end, or will they gradually reform the offenders and allow them to return to God and his company? So perhaps Satan has created hell as a means for humans' redemption. Now I promised a way out of hell, so here it is. All you have to do is forgive yourself and believe that you don't deserve punishment. Now, it's a long shot, but again, give me a minute. In the show Lucifer, the devil himself lives amongst humans and uses his divine power to help catch criminals with the LAPD. Is this at all realistic? No, absolutely not. But their interpretation of hell and the role of the devil may not be far off. One of them is that humans and divine beings control their lives based on how they self-actualize. In the show Lucifer, the devil himself states that to get to hell, you send yourself, driven down by your own guilt, forcing yourself to relive your sins over and over. And the best part, the doors aren't locked. You could leave any time. It says something that no one ever does, doesn't it? At this point, Lucifer is not only discussing what hell's purpose is, but also his purpose. Lucifer does not create punishments. He only enacts humans' own self-punishment and guilt. Yet, as he says, the door is not locked. Just as humans create their own hell, they can free themselves. Now, this is no easy task. It requires facing the deepest, darkest parts of yourself, the parts that you do not believe deserve saving, and somehow coming to terms with them. In a sense, the hell you create is like Satan in front of Balaam's donkey. You try to continue on the same path over and over again, but there is a constant obstruction. The only way to move forward is to question your own reasons and intentions. Only then will the obstruction be lifted. So why am I telling you this? What's the point? For all I know, I could be completely wrong about my understanding of hell, Satan, and evil. Maybe this is just my elaborate way of getting people to face their own choices and wrongdoings and stop blaming some exterior evil force. But hey, if I'm wrong, then I'll just see you in hell.